Good afternoon or good morning whenever you're watching this. My name is Kate Cherry and I'm the Regional Director of the Athena Network for Bedfordshire and St Albans area. So we're a business networking and development organisation for women in business. And so I'm here today with Nikki Hageman of Nicola Hageman Accountancy. Accountancy or accountants?
Accountancy.
Accountancy. And the reason we're online together today is because what I like to do is spotlight our members, so share a bit more about who they are and what they do to the general public, and not just keep that to us as members, because I think people should know about the fabulous people we have in our community. And so at the moment, what are we doing? Because we're all in this very, very surreal situation that we're having to all stay inside. And so we're running our meetings online. And so I run 5 meetings across Bedfordshire and St Albans, and we do coffee mornings as well. So actually Zoom and this kind of technology has become really useful. And we love using this for recording these interviews as well. So Nikki, thanks so much for joining me today. Tell us a bit more about your business and what you do.
So I'm Nikki from Nicola Hageman Accountancy. So we're an accountancy practice based just outside Bedford, just north of Bedford. We've been operating for about 5 years now, and we look after a number of small clients from sole traders up to sort of £1 million businesses, and we quite often are the kind of finance department for our clients. So we do bookkeeping, VAT, payroll, as well as the year-end accounts, sole trade, self-assessment returns and everything. But we try to be there as their kind of sounding board and give them a little bit more sort of advice and information so that they can pick up the phone to us whenever they need us. So, yeah. And
I guess you're finding yourself quite busy at the moment.
Fairly busy at the moment, yeah. We're dealing with furlough claims, business rate grants. That's all good fun, and obviously take some calculations for the furloughs, and it's sort of taking that hand holding, I suppose, for our clients to take them through the process, because it's a completely new system for them as well as for us. So just trying to get everything that we can, and also the support we can from the government for them, and sort of keeping them up to date as to what all the new regulations are, what support's out there, what they can claim, can't claim, what they can do, and sort of helping them through these sort of strange times to work out cash flow and sort of how to keep them in business for the next 3 months or so, because once this is over they should be able to go back to sort of doing normal business. It's just getting them through the sort of next few months so that they can continue. So yeah.
And I guess your role as well at the moment, I know I'm going completely off topic, but the topic is you, so it's all good, is to help them be calm in a way and not panic. And sort of find their way through everything. You did a brilliant talk for us, didn't you, at our Cappuccino Connections last week, where you were saying it's not just what's currently available, but it's looking at the cash flow as well, and not just the here and now. Because I get a sense that a lot of companies made some panic actions before the government advice came out. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, especially when it first came out that they had to sort of stop working, close down, and it was like, oh my god, my business is not going to survive. I can't go to work, I can't do anything, I'm not going to be able to feed my family. And it's a very much a knee-jerk reaction, understandably. I mean, I did probably the same thing, and actually my business is fairly secure. I mean, people will still need their accounts doing, people will still need sort of my services. So I still had that knee-jerk reaction and was like, oh my god, this is going to be horrific. Luckily, because I'm a financial person and I like looking at numbers, I was quite happy to then go and say, right, actually, what is going to happen? And I think quite often the reality is not as scary as you think it's going to be. We did some work with a client who thought that was it. They were going to close down. They were never going to be able to reopen again. And we went through their cash flow, and actually, we worked out exactly what they needed to be able to afford to pay everything they have to pay for, and what they could do about those costs. And we ended up that actually, even if they took in no revenue at all over the next 3 months, because of other things that we can do and because of some cash reserves they had, they actually were still going to be in business and afloat in 3 months' time, even with no revenue coming in. So that was kind of their worst case, which was better than they even expected that they was going to be. So it's quite an eye-opener to put some facts down on paper to actually realize it's not necessarily quite as bad as you think it might be. So, and give you some other options, really.
And also to know that during that time then, that's brilliant that they were able to work that out, but also that not to sit on their laurels during that time, but plan ahead. In our situation, we know each other through networking, so networking is keeping people visible, I think, as well. So yeah, you're able to help them with those forward-looking plans.
Definitely, and it's trying to work out what additional things you can do. So yes, you might not be able to go out to somebody to do something, but can you make some videos? Can you do your marketing? Can you make, as you say, make yourself visible, get in front of people, so that when they are spending again, you're the first person that they think of, because you've given them that value over the last sort of 3 months. So I'm seeing a lot of people are sort of pivoting what they're offering and trying to go online or doing different products and things like that. So it's really, it's amazing actually, sort of watching some of my clients sort of come through this with a positive rather than sort of sitting on as a negative. And I think that sort of screams volumes about my clients and loads of businesses out there that we're sort of, and I'm seeing it through networking as well, that actually there's an overall sense of positivity rather than an overall sense of negativity, which is great, because it means that these people are going to come out stronger the other side of this. So yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, there's only so much attention you can pay to the press and how awful it is just yet, because if we don't all stay positive, then we're...
No, exactly.
Yeah. So how did you get into what you do?
So I'm a management accountant by trade. So I qualified in 2008. I worked for a big IT company in London. And when my eldest was about to start school, we realised actually I couldn't physically get home from London, pick up one child from nursery, one child from school. It just wouldn't happen. So we made, I sort of said to my husband, should I start my own business? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, really? You sure?
Now you said, yes, I have to do it.
I mean, I kind of thought that he'd sort of at least question it a little bit, and then I'd have a little bit of a get out. But no, he was, I mean, he's great and he supports me wholeheartedly. And in that time, actually, when I made that decision, we then got pregnant and we had our third child just as my first started school. So as I was starting my business, I was there looking after a newborn. So yeah, that was fun. And yeah.
You know busy.
Sorry?
You know busy.
Yes, I know busy. So it's interesting. And I mean, we've managed to work it around, and I now, so I have a team. I've got 4 members of staff working for me. We've got a little office in Clapham. So I now manage to push some of the day-to-day work out to them. So I am only working kind of school hours now. And I kind of have done the whole time really. I've picked my kids up by 4:30 every day. So it's always been kind of, that was my challenge to me, to be able to give business where actually we can still be sort of around doing school drop-offs and pickups, although I'm quite loving not doing them at the moment. I don't know how I'm going to get up early again rather than having a lie until 9 o'clock, but hey, we'll cope.
I know, bedtimes have become less stressful here.
Yes.
Oh, it's this time, bedtime. Why?
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
I'm going to school tomorrow.
It's okay.
So so you joined Athena last year, wasn't it? I think so, when we launched the Bedford group. So why did you join Athena, and what's been your highlight so far, or what do you enjoy about it?
So I think I'd sort of looked at Athena a while ago, but there wasn't a Bedford group back then. So, but I do other networking as well. I just really like getting in front of and with other women who are running their own businesses, who have that kind of, and it's sort of getting a nice group of people together who support each other. And it's just a really nice environment. And I find sometimes when you do mixed networking, doesn't quite have the same effect. You don't feel quite so loved and nurtured through mixed networking. And yeah, the Bedford group's lovely. I mean, the women there are such nice people, and you can tell there's no cliques, there's no kind of, you always feel part of the group rather than sort of feeling like an outsider or anything like that. So yeah, it's a really nice group, and I like having the 2 sort of sessions that we do are really informative. So having like a training session is a really great kind of part of the group, definitely. And
a business talk, yeah. And I don't think we've had time to create cliques in that group, because we're nearly at capacity already. And from when it launched, and you joined the month, you came to the launch and then joined the month after or something, didn't you? We haven't really had time, because it's just sort of gone boop, isn't it? So
I don't think it would. I mean, even if they want, I don't think there's anybody in there that would be kind of, you know when you're at school and the girls whisper behind your back. I just don't see that as being part of the group. I mean, everybody's just wholeheartedly behind
Yeah.
everything that he does. It's lovely. So it's a really nice environment to be in, and it just feels so kind of nurturing and nice. Yeah.
I think everyone's still getting to know each other as well, which is great, because by the time you've got to know a few, there's a few more. And yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so what's next? No, actually, first I want to ask you, what would be your tips for someone? It's an interesting time to ask this, so I'll answer it in whichever way you want, whether it's in normal time or now or both. But what would be your tips for someone looking to go out on their own? You made that decision, so what would be your top tip?
Go for it, but also don't be afraid to ask for help. Make sure that you can't do everything, and as much as maybe at the beginning you might need to because of financial sort of situations, but I genuinely believe that you get the right team around you and you can do anything you want to do, but sort of rely on other people's expertise is when you don't have that skill. And I think it's taken me a while to work that out, but and to be financially able to take that step as well, because that's one of the big things. But yeah, it's pulling on other people to do things that you can't.
I love that. Yeah, and just the go for it.
Yeah,
in particular, I'm sure there are many people now who are thinking, oh my God, I was just about to start my business. But it's just, if anything, this is going to give you more planning time and more prep time. And
planning, and even just trying to start something now and kind of get in front of people and get things sort of started. You're either going to start now and then you'll be 3 months down the line and you'll be 3 months down the line, or you won't start now, will be 3 months later when you won't have started. So just do it and get on with it.
Do something today your future self will thank you for. That's what they say, isn't it? Yeah. So what's next for Nicola Hageman Accountants?
We're growing, so we're doing we were planning on moving offices and getting more staff in, so we'll have to wait and see what happens after lockdown. But actually we're working really well remotely anyway. But yeah, the plan is to grow, to get out there, to meet people, and to help them with their finances and to make it not so scary. I think that's our big aim anyway.
I love that. And I love the fact that you guys make it really personal to get to know your customers. I know that personally you spend a lot of time reaching out to your customers. We talked about that, didn't we, during this time? Because I think people feel so alone. If they're not in the kind of community we're in, they can be sitting there feeling incredibly alone. But to know that there's someone there who's not going to charge to have picked up the phone and say, how are you? It's just, how are you? And can I help decipher anything is just priceless. So well done, you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we like. We enjoy getting to know our clients. We like having those conversations. We want to know what their kids are doing. We want to have a laugh with people. We quite often end up having a 5 or 10 minute conversation without even discussing anything to do with numbers, because actually we want to know that they're okay, that they've got nothing personally that they want sort of help with, because we can be an agony aunt as well. We're quite happy to have a chat through things and discuss husbands or kids or whatever it is. So yeah, getting to know our clients is really lovely. We become part of their team, and rather than, I think one of my clients said to me that it was nice to sort of have a positive, a proactive accountant on their team, rather than having an accountant, like an old school one, working for them. And I think that was kind of, we're part of them rather than just being the outsider that comes in once a year to come and do something. So
it's a level playing field, I guess, isn't it? Because instead of being an employee-employer situation where an employee or a department wants to please a boss, you are literally that team, aren't you? Because you're the outsourced finance department. I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Nikki. How can someone connect with you if they would like to know more?
So I'm on LinkedIn, Nicola Hageman, and Facebook on Nicola Hageman, and my website is nicolahagemanaccountancy.co.uk, but all my details are in there as well. So, but I'll comment.
All those domains sorted.
All sorted. It's all me. So as long as you can spell my surname, then you're fine.
Hageman, isn't it? It's not 2 N's, it's 1 N. Brilliant. Oh, look, for anyone watching, it's right there on your box as well, Nikki Hageman.
Yes, you can see it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for everyone watching. If you're intrigued to know more about Nicola, you know how to contact her, or you can just add a comment below this and we will get in touch. And for the Athena Network, we'd still love visitors to come and meet us. We have certain offers for people visiting who would like to then join at the moment. And if you visited before and you think, well, that's it, I have my one visit, that's not the case at the moment. So contact me and we will discuss whether you can still visit the group and come back and just get some networking in. So thank you very much and have a great, albeit wet, afternoon.